Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Mantalk Podcast. I am your host, Derek D. Brooks, a.k.a. the Man Coach. That's right, Man Coach. Listen, Happy New Year. We're back, and, man, we're kicking this thing off like it's supposed to be kicked off. I got one of my good friends. He's really not a friend, he's a brother, and I'm excited to finally have him on. I call him the CEO because he always working on something and getting something started. So help me welcome my boy, my friend, my brother, Jason O. Bradley, a.k.a. CEO.
Man, Coach.
CEO, what's happening, bro?
Man, everything is well. What about yourself?
Man, you already know the best day of my life.
Man,
Best day of
absolutely.
I get to sit here and chat with my boy
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
on the cast. I mean,
Hey,
we're a year in, and I finally get to have a good brother on here.
yeah, we finally made it. We've been talking about it for a while now, but we here now.
We here. We
Yeah.
here. What better
Yes,
way to
sir.
start the year off, right?
There you go.
What
Yeah.
better way to start the year off? So
Yes, sir.
I'm excited. Man, you got a lot of things going on. Tell the listeners about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm from the big city of Palm Bluff. That's
Big city of PB.
the big city of Palm Bluff, land of opportunities.
Land of opportunity. That's them golden lines, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Golden Line, University of Arkansas, Palm Bluff. Man, just a guy, out here finding his niche for the most part. Just doing what I have to do for my family, and just providing and just growing and learning life. I'm gonna say that, and learning people in life. Yeah. So grew up in Palm Bluff, moved away, came back home, and I knew I had a drive. I knew I had to make something happen. And here we are today.
Here we are today. Here we are today.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Yes.
yeah. Getting ready to talk about it. So,
Yeah.
childhood, you grew up in Pine Bluff as a kid.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Grew up. Family of four, single parent household. Mom worked hard. Been in education actually for what 35 plus years. Just recently retired this year. I'm sorry. What?
I did not know mom was a school teacher.
Man, school principal, superintendent,
What?
all of that stuff.
How did I not know that?
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she started off in special ed. So just growing up and just being around that environment, man, and growing up, we used to go to the Special Olympics. We used to play in the Special Olympics with the kids.
Wow.
Yeah, play softball growing up. We used to be at Watson Chapel School, so we used to be involved in that. But just growing up and watching her work, watching her grind every day, when I talked to her, when was that? This past Christmas, I was like, I don't want to pick up another book. Because what we used to do is after school, well, when school was out, they get the new shipment in books. I was the brother that was around. I got an older brother, but he way older than me, so I had to carry all the books to all the classroom. You talk about 25 big books.
Yeah.
hey, I said, oh, what's another book? Yeah, so
you don't want to see another book, but you yet and still you still in books.
Absolutely. It comes right back around.
Come right back around, but this time you read them versus carrying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, read them and writing them. We'll talk about that later.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about you. I mean, that's why I call you CEO. That's why I call you the CEO. So how's life going for you now, man?
Man, it's busy as ever, man. Busy as ever, man. We trying to stay. It's the pandemic, and we trying to stay safe. Trying to, dealing with a whole bunch of world stuff. Just trying to make sure your wife and my kids is straight. My wife Ashley and 3 kids, JL, JC, and Jace. But still be involved, still be quote unquote normal at the same time. So I think that's
how you coping with that. How you been able to do that, man? Because I mean, I think we all would love to still be involved and still, a lot of us We got a lot of things going, and to be able to handle that part, especially as a man, as a father, a great father like you are, and a husband, how do you balance that? How do you make that work, man?
Man, I don't try. I don't think about it. To be honest with you, I just kind of I limit my locations and places where I'm at. It has to be very important if I'm going, for the most part. And you know, my kids, I still try to keep them active. I don't want them to sit around the house and because they'll drive me crazy if they sit around the house. So we going somewhere. You gonna go?
Hey,
Yeah.
I done interviewed kids, and they said the parents is driving them crazy too. So I'm sure it's working both ways.
Working both ways. So we slowly moving around still, but still moving around where we got some sense of normalcy. But it's, I mean, I try not to think about it, be honest, man, coach. We know it's there. We know the media is talking about it. We know everybody is talking about it. You know, the job emails, and you know, you turn on you look on YouTube, you look anywhere, it's talking about it. Yeah. So I really we don't talk about it a lot in the household. But we just try to stay positive and stay faithful.
So pretty much what you're saying is, if I had to sum it up, you just take calculated you take calculated places. I mean,
movements.
Calculated movements. Perfect word for it. Okay, yep. I got you. Because I know a lot of men, you know, they're busy. Their husbands, their dads, and I'm sure we all struggling with that.
Yeah.
At some capacity as being a man, you know, how do you maneuver around? It's almost like playing chess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to play, but I know you got to have a strategy.
Gotta have a strategy.
Yeah.
Gotta have that.
I got you.
Yes,
So what's the best resources that have helped you along the way? I know we're gonna get into some of the things that you've accomplished and some of the things that you are doing and working on now. What are some of the best resources? What have you found out as an adult man, businessman now?
Mm-hmm.
Are some of the best resources that has helped you along the way?
Man, I think just talking when I lived in St. Louis, I had a lot of older friends. A lot of my older guys, I say fraternity brothers, they was 10 years older than me. So being able to sit back and watch them and see how they move taught me a lot about just business and family and just growing up for the most part. You know, just failure as well was a good resource for me. You know,
yeah. Failure was a good resource.
It was a good resource.
That's a good quote right there,
Jim. Yeah. I mean, without failure, we won't never learn. Without pain, we won't never learn.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids now that in order for you to stop doing this, you got to get some pain behind you.
Got to get some pain behind.
If you don't get pain behind whatever it is, you won't learn. We as humans, we won't never learn. So I think you know, my resources for the most part is just that failure and just, you know, the wise men that got me when I was 22, 23 years old.
I got you.
Yeah.
One of the things you mentioned, and you didn't say anything about this earlier, and you said your frat brothers.
Yeah.
So what fraternity are you a part of?
I'm a part of the great Omega Psi Phi fraternity incorporated.
Now,
shout out to the brother.
Now check this out. Now, because I know what frat you're a part of, I will not allow this on my show.
Yeah.
But because I feel like I am an honorary member at heart. Boys, y'all need to work on your criteria on getting boys in.
Work on that.
Yeah, y'all need to work on that. Y'all not getting y'all missing out on a good brother. I'm glad we're talking about this. Y'all missing out on a good brother.
And we talking about it on recorded too. So look at you.
Recording. We're recording, so it'll never go away.
Ain't going away.
Never go away. So what made you go that fraternity?
I think that's who I was. That's who I am. Just the brotherhood, and you know, I'm gonna kind of go back. You know, back in my younger days, I used to like to work hard and play very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of brothers, you know, I didn't even know that was brothers that was just, I mean, in the school districts that was working hard, but then you see them somewhere else, like, is this the same guy? This can't be the same guy. And it just pushed me like, man, I like that, you know. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
But isn't actually nobody in my intermediate family that's bros, omegas.
Really? So
Yeah,
you were first.
All Kappas.
So
all Kappas.
So glad you kicked against it. You went with the
heart. Yeah. Absolutely.
You got a junior coming up, so make sure you train him right. Make sure you train him right.
We'll see. He talk a lot of talk, I tell you that. So we'll see what he's talking about later.
I got you. So let's talk about some of the stuff that you have accomplished that you're proud of. And the reason I like to talk about this, especially with the men, is because we don't hear about it a lot. We don't hear about some of the success that men have. And so let's talk about some of that. What's some of the things that leading up to what you're working on now?
I thought that was gonna be like the last question.
Well, hey, we random.
Hey, I got you. No, ask that question one more time. Let me
talk to us about some of the things that you've accomplished that are very important to you as a man, young man, and now up to the point where you are now. CEO.
Yeah, man, coach, I believe the biggest thing for me is being involved in my kids' life. I think that's like the biggest accomplishment for myself. Okay. Just being raised in a single parent household, you know, that whole, I don't get into that whole saga, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I knew, so I look at manhood, can father figures can, you can stray away or you can be involved. You got two options. You got two options.
Yeah.
You can be involved or you can say, I'm gone. And you learn from your fathers of what you needed to show your kid, what you wanted. So you show that to your kids for the most part. Mm-hmm. And I think just being involved in my kids' life is my family's life. I'm gonna say that is the most biggest accomplishment that I have today. Cause I'm here, I'm around, I'm involved. We doing this from my girls' cheer, from when they were smaller, helping them learn the cheers, man. Hey, learn the little cheers, helping them flip, helping them do cartwheels, back bends. Yeah. It's called so you know we call it backward flips. Mm-hmm. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
It's back handspring. That's what it's called. That's the technical term.
Yeah, the real terminology.
Yeah. Backhand walkovers, man. Just learn being clean. I know all the terminologies we're dealing with my daughters as far as the cheer aspect, and then my son just getting into sports. He's the youngest one. Being involved, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Just being involved, being around, coming home, man. Coming home.
You said something. Coming home. Talk to me about coming home, Jay.
I tell you, just growing up, nobody came home, and to see that man come home every day, or if you travel, and everybody is different, everybody, you know, but at the end of the day, you got to come home. You got to. It hits different from dad. Mom is mom. Mom gonna be there. We know mom gonna ride or die. But when dad say something, it hits a little different. You know, I always talk about this. Everybody want their dads in their life. And I didn't realize that until I say in my 20s. I think I was talking to a lady. She may be 50, 60 years old at that time. And she was hurting because she didn't have her father in her life. And I'm like, wait.
At 20.
No. She was at 50. I was at 20.
Oh, you was
And
okay.
yeah, and I'm sitting here like, wait, you 50, you're grown. How? And then I think I was watching what's the lady name that be on Vanzel one
Ayana.
Ayana Vanzel. You got 60-year-old women and men crying because dad wasn't at home. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So
So I'm glad you went there because a lot of times men think, because another man is grown or their daughter is grown that they'll grow out of it. They'll grow out of it. And the misconception is once they get old enough, they'll move on with life and life will be great. And that's a myth.
That's a myth.
That's a big myth. It get worse when you get older because you're still longing for that, even at an older age, that it's possible that more than likely it won't come back unless your pops are still living and you go and, try to make that thing happen. But that is a huge void. And just to hear that you're involved in your children and your family's life, man. I mean, you said something. You come home and they know dad is gonna come home. No, not. It doesn't matter how long dad been gone. They know dad gonna come home.
He gonna come home and he gonna sleep there.
He
and I say this, man. Everybody's situation is different. I get it. I understand it. I respect it. I know.
Yeah.
But it's a difference, man. It's a big difference when dad is in the building.
So let me ask you this, Jay. What's the drive? Knowing how you grew up, what's your drive to be different?
Man, I want to. I got to lead by example. I got kids now. I got young guys that I mentor here and there. So I got to set an example. Again, we talked about this before. The media is not going to show it. Yeah. The media are going to show what they want to show. Mm-hmm. So so in my little circle, I got to play my part. I got to get my piece of the pie for my kids. Yeah. And then anybody around me. So when people see me out, they know, oh man. Yeah. I seen dude, he ain't just talking. I ain't just talking.
Yeah.
So that man, I mean, before all the business and all that stuff is good, and I'm pushing to be better. Again, we got to create opportunities for our kids. We got to create for nieces and nephews, and again, and that not just my kids. I got nephews, I got nieces.
Right.
It's the same. So and some of them in the same cycle. So I gotta change that. I gotta show them something different. So if I know that I can call my uncle at any time and I know he's gonna be around somewhere.
Yeah. And that goes back to the scripture where it talks about it takes a village to raise one. Yep. It takes a village to raise one. And a lot of times I think guys, we focus, some of us focus on our immediate family, but we don't focus on the family outside of the four walls, like your little nephew. You know, he need a father figure, even though you're his uncle or you may be his big cousin. He needs you to be in his life so he can have a positive role model, so he can have something to grab hold to as he grow older and become a young man and then a man. So that's very key and it's very important. And so it's just not about, again, our inner circle and the people that's in our homes or in our houses. It's about little nephew. It's about little man down the street who don't have a father. It's about some of the kids that you coach on the sports teams. You know, I know you. When I was a little league Pop Warner coach, I mean, it's vital. It's vital. You got an opportunity to teach not only whatever sport you're teaching, but you got an opportunity to teach manhood and an opportunity to teach principles.
Absolutely.
Teach principles. So who would you say are three of the most? They don't got to be most, but three people who have been the most influential to you on your journey.
Man, I mean, people. I would say my mom. Biggest influence. again, raising 4 single mother, raising 4 kids, one income, and then go out and get other jobs. I don't know, and then be able to spend time. Like all of us was involved. That's the crazy thing about it. All of us was involved. I was probably involved the most out of all of the 4 of us, but all of us was involved in something. And I see how it is now with my kids. Like, wait, it's 2 of us, me and my wife. Like, we busy, but
and
she did it by herself.
Sled by herself.
By herself, like how?
Yeah,
up the hill. So just seeing that, man. I can't really call 3, but I think if you want to say my mom and with 3 different personalities, I can say that. but my mom always said she understood that she couldn't teach me how to be a man. She understood that she knew she could only take me so far. And then everything else, you gotta go see it somewhere else.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a while. Now you just opened up something else, because I've heard women say I'm the mama and the daddy. I'm playing both roles. They've even now made cards. They make cards. Hallmark got cards for women that say on Father's Day that they are the father. They playing the father role. What's your thoughts on that? Talk to me about that. Being a dad.
I'm gonna put this out there. I don't like it. Be honest with you. I don't like it, not one bit, because again, I can't be a mother to my kids. Mothers can't be fathers to the kids. You can't. I don't even know if this X-rated or not, but you can't actually teach my son how to pee.
Right.
You got an ideal. Like I can't like what when your daughters get of age and they go through their cycles, I can't teach that to my daughters.
Yeah.
I got it, and my wife, I had to call my aunt, my mother, their aunts, their mother. I can't teach that. I can't teach my girls how to control their emotions when they going through that. I can't teach that. You can't teach my son. A woman can't teach a son how to rebound after being rejected. She just can't. She can't teach that emotion. So it's certain things like I respect. Again, I was a product in a single parent household, so this ain't something that I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't teach a man how to be a man. It's impossible. You got an ideal of what you want your son to be like, but you can't. But behind closed doors, you just can't do it. You got your integrity. You can teach them. I mean, that goes for men and women. Principles and things like that. But actually, walking like a man, talking like a man, thinking like a man.
Yeah,
you can't do it. And I'm not going. I don't go back. I hear it all the time, but I don't go back and forth when women say that. I just say okay, because again, you can't do it.
One of the things that I did notice, Jay, when I seen the card for Father's Day for the mother, I never seen one for Mother's Day that talked to the father.
The father. It's a lot of single fathers out there.
It's a lot of single fathers out there.
My brother is a single father.
Yeah, I know several single fathers.
I would know several, but it's not. But at the end of the day, we don't get the same respect. But as mothers, and I understand it. But again, that dad, I don't care. I think you mentioned it earlier. Your dad can be gone 7 years. And if he called today and say, let's meet up, you running. That kid is running to be with that father.
Yeah. Real talk.
And you can't break. I was talking to a friend. She told me a situation, like, you can't break that bond with that father. You just, as a child, as an adult, at any age, at any level, it just can't be done. But that's amazing, man. I haven't seen that card. I don't want to see that card either.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you probably it wouldn't be a fun card for you.
No, man. No, it's crazy. But again, a woman can only take a boy so far.
True that.
But then once you get to that level of I'd say maturity, the world. Another man, a coach, a teacher, a principal, a doctor, whomever, another man.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it, man.
Gotta have another man. That's why it's important for, again, I don't want to go back and beat a dead horse, but that's why it's important for men to look around, to find someone, because there's always someone.
It's always someone
who's lacking that attention,
yep.
and there's always someone you can pour into, and so definitely got to be mindful. Definitely got to look around and not be selfish,
right?
And just help another generation. What advice would you give a man? What advice would you give men wanting to be a better dad, be a better husband, be a better man of the community? What advice would you give him? Because you're all those things. So what advice would you give him?
I tell you, Brooks, I'm working. You know, I mean, I just talking to you, I'm learning from you and things, but I just say be involved. I think it's a radio ad saying something about, you know, just be there, be involved. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing. You ain't got to be the smartest, you ain't got to have the most money, but just being involved. Go to the schools. You know, my biggest push is I talk about that shortly, but just getting into the schools and walking the hall. So I'm a what they call watchdog dad at my kids' school.
Yeah.
So basically just going in and being involved in the kids and the kids look at you like, who is this guy? Like he's not the PE coach, he's not the janitor, he's not the principal. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the only males that they see throughout the day is that one or two males that they see at school.
Yeah.
If that, or the coach. But I think the biggest advice is just being involved, just answering the phone, calling your kids. It's never too late to get in your kids' life because they want you. I guarantee you they want you involved. I had a kid, man, played on my team. Daddy bought him some new cleats. Oh man, and that boy smiled from ear to ear the whole game. I'm like, wow, it's something behind that.
Absolutely.
But again, he was my daddy bought me some new shoes. Coach, look, coach. So and he could have bought some cheap $10 shoes, but there was some nice shoes, the nice cleats, but it was just that joy that kid had on his face, like, man, my dad bought these shoes. It goes far. Being involved. It's simple. Not don't try to overthink it. Be involved. Moms, they can't stop you from visiting the schools. Yes, taking some time out.
You don't got that excuse.
You ain't got the excuse. Hey, go to a ball game. It's open to the public unless you got a restraining order or some stuff like that.
You didn't act a fool, man.
Yeah. Stay away. Yeah. Stay away. But if it ain't no restraining order, go to the schools. Walk. Go have lunch with your kid. I tell anybody, and I'm blessed to have a job that I have. I'm pretty flexible, so I'm able to go to my kids' school for lunch. Mm-hmm. Hey, I don't know, but the people, the fathers or uncles or father figures, job situation, financial situation, is nothing to tell your boss that, hey, I need to take an hour lunch today. And let me run over here to my kid's school, my nephew's school, and I want to take at least about 15 minutes to have lunch with them. That's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. If your boss say no, it's a lot of people hiring these days. It's a lot of people hiring these days. Yeah. That ain't the place you want to be. I can guarantee you that. But being involved, Brooks, that's the biggest.
I got you. So let me play devil's advocate.
Yep.
He is at a job that his boss won't let him. He don't have the flexibility to get off and go to lunch, but he can spend time with him after he get off work.
Absolutely.
Is that the same? Would that be the same thing as spending time? Or
it is the same, yeah. Okay. Anytime it's the same time, be honest with you. Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime. But I think, you know, as fathers, we have that, I'm working. I gotta go to work. I can't do this. I gotta work. But all you gotta do is just sit back and you can do what you want to do. It's nothing to take an off day. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to take an off day. It's nothing to take half a day off. It's nothing to take 2 days, 2 hours off, I believe. And I've been in like factory. I worked factory jobs before, so it can be done. You at the end of the day, you gotta want it. If you don't want it, you won't do it. You make a bunch of excuses not to. And I have heard a lot of excuses of why not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you just got to get it done.
That's very key. What you just said, and you make it. It's so simple. You know what I mean?
Simple.
Just be involved. And one of the things that I push the guys even through my coaching, when I'm coaching men and through my coaching practice, is you got to start understanding that even though you give your kids gifts, the gift is not more important than you. You're like, he don't want another PlayStation game. He just wants you to play with the one that came with the game. I don't know if they still add them in the game or not as a free one. He don't want another football. He just wants you to play football with him with the football that he got. He don't want, and I think guys, when we don't understand that our presence is more powerful than a present.
Yeah.
In our children's lives, I think that, man, that'll save you a lot of money when you understand that.
Man, I don't know if you heard the same sermon I heard, but TD Jakes just said that this past Sunday.
No,
TD Jakes said the exact same thing. He said that if I would have known that what did he say? He was substituting his time for presence. And then what did he say? He said he mentioned something about, well, as the kids got older, all they talked about was memories, moments. They didn't talk about that stuff. They couldn't remember that stuff. All they talked about was memories and moments. And he said his daughter brought up a memory of him taking her to TCBY just to eat some ice cream.
Just to eat some ice cream. Me and Bishop Jakes, we talk all the time, man. Shout out to Bishop Jakes. One day he'll call me and want to be on the podcast, or he'll come in and be a guest. But no, I don't talk to Bishop Jakes, but it's just that's a true fact, man. And
that's a fact.
And memories is what lasts, and I'm always pushing. You've even heard me say make memories. When you go out on trips, when you're with your family, make memories, because one day that's all we gonna have.
That's it.
You can't erase memories, whether they're good or bad. You can't erase them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all we got.
And sometimes, when we pass away, or when someone we love pass away, that's all we'll have is the memories that we share with them. We won't think about how much the ticket costs. We won't think about how much, if he had on red bottom shoes, or if she had on red bottom shoes, or what kind of hairstyle they had. We're gonna think about those laughs. We're gonna think about whatever it was we was talking about. And so that's what's important, man.
That's it. That's important, man.
That's what's important.
Be involved. Memories.
Like you stated about the young boy with the tennis shoes. That'll burn in your memory forever. You'll remember that young man. You'll remember the dance he was doing, the excitement, the glow in his eyes. Even with your own kids, I'm sure you. If we go down the line, you got a memory for each one of them right now, even as being a kid.
Oh yeah.
And so, that it's important. What's one thing that you wish you had known, as a man, before you took on a family?
Everything evolves around you, man.
Everything evolves around
you. The good days, the bad days, it's all on you.
Now talk about that, because I've never heard it that way, Jay. I never heard it that way. What does that mean? Break that down for the man. That is all about everything evolves around him.
I just say the temperature of the house, man. If the temperature of the house ain't right, you gotta make sure everybody's comfortable. If we gotta go on a trip, you gotta make sure we able to go sponsor that trip. If You gotta bring light to everything, to the whole. See, that's one of my kids right there. Look, that's my lighting girl, my older daughter. She's peeking in the door. But I mean, it just everything when you whatever you do, whatever the kids involved, good or bad, is gonna evolve around. I look at the dad. If it just it's us. It's us. You know, mom is mom. Again, mom's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, the wife is gonna do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in order for my kids to see, I gotta show them. I have to go out there and get them exposed to the world. It's my duty, it's my job to get them
and even,
where they need to be.
Even in it, even in scripture it talks about, even in the Bible, it's the man's responsibility to bring peace in the house.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what you're saying. Everything, even if the kids are fighting, look, come on, we got to get this together. And I like the way you say it, because a lot of times we hear that the woman set the temperature in the house. I have never heard it where the man set the temperature, but that's a lot of truth to that, because you can disperse the arguments. You can bring peace to every child.
Every child.
You can bring peace to the wife. You can bring peace to the bill collector. You can, to the dog, the cat. Everybody can sit on daddy's lap, and you'll be able you can tailor to them. So I like that.
It's our job. It's our job.
I like that. I like the way you put that. Yep. Let's talk about one of your biggest failures.
Man,
as a man, what's one of your biggest failures? Whether it was back in the day, or if you got one that's fresh.
I can't. Do I have a biggest failure? I don't think. I think it's. I look at them as learning experiences, man. I can't really just say I got a biggest failure. Yeah, I can't say that. It just it's that I had a hard learning curve. I'm gonna say I had a hard learning. I had one of my I go back to my frat brother. He say I was 23 and I thought I was a businessman. I'm trying to wheel and deal, just got in real estate. And he said, Jason, listen, you ain't been through nothing. He's 10 years older than me. He was probably 33 at the time. Jason, he had a wife and kids, was already married for like 10 years at the time. Like, Jason, you ain't been through nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what you I'm like, man, I'm from Pine Bluff, and man,
oh, yeah, I got your feelings.
I got what you talk. I went to college and I ain't had no food in college. He was like, dude, that ain't nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
he said, Jason, you
in college. You forget about that. You talking about you ain't have no food. You in college.
Hey, with a car. Yeah, man, he was like, man, that ain't nothing. He was like, man, you will see. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what the old people say. Keep a living. Keep a living, you'll see. Yeah. So your biggest curveball.
Man, I think
that you learned a great lesson from. And the reason I like asking this question is because even though we talk about the success, a lot of guys, they don't understand, because when they see you and see you moving up and see you blowing up, and they hear me calling you CEO and all the things that you have, they just feel they a lot of people just feel like you walked into stuff like that.
Right.
There wasn't no curveball. His mama was a school principal. Oh, he even had a car in college.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think the biggest curveball, man, I'm gonna say, when the market crashed, man, in 2008. I think that I've been in real estate, did a couple of little flips and things like that, but I wasn't hungry. No. What I did was I close a deal and sit back and still work, but I wasn't hungry enough. I go party and I just hang out and live off that money, but not knowing like this is the money I gotta invest in. I can't just blow this money because I gotta reinvest in the next property. And man, actually went in foreclosure. I actually had I think I had like 2 or 3 houses, went in foreclosure, and I'm like, dang, what's going on? And I had to go call it a 9-to-5 job and couldn't. Then end up foreclosing my personal residence at the time. I'm like, God, and then all of a sudden, I fathered my daughter. And my wife was at the time when she was living in Pine Bluff. So I'm like, man, listen, this I gotta pivot right now, to get myself back right. So I knew I wanted to raise my daughter around family. So I just moved back to Arkansas. After being gone, I left Arkansas at 18. I think I moved back when I was like 27, so almost 10 years. But it was a culture shock for me. So I say the biggest curveball was just not staying hungry, not continuing to learn and network and dive in my business and be more faithful at that time period in my life.
Okay. And you shared a piece of your story. And I love to tell brothers, I believe prisons wouldn't be as full as they are. I believe depression rate for men in general would be down if we took time and we was honest with the brothers that we was hanging out with.
Yeah.
Meaning if we took time and shared our stories.
Yeah.
Because they, guys will look at you and say, man, he didn't go through anything. What?
I hear that too.
Yeah. You lost houses. You know what I'm saying? You lost whatever else you lost. You know what I'm saying?
Credit score shot.
Yeah.
Shot.
Yeah.
And man, coach, it took me 10 years to get back. Sit on that. Let's sit on that for a minute.
Let's sit on that.
It took me 10 years. I just got back going 2018. 10 years.
And what would you contribute that to?
Man, God, man, being faithful, man, staying on path, staying focused, and knowing the ultimate goal and being positive. Yeah. That's the biggest thing is I back when I didn't start reading books until I was about 25, 26, reading books. Mm-hmm. And I had my grandmother passed in 06. So she had a bookshelf. We always passed the bookshelf. Every day we went over her house. I never picked up a book, never even stopped by the bookshelf.
Well, I mean, you carried books when you was little, so I know you wasn't going to read one when you got
I wasn't going to read one. I wasn't going to read one. But I picked up a book called The Power of Positive Thinking, man. And I read that book, man, and it changed my mindset on how we view life. And we keeping the positive mindset no matter what. At the end of the day, we know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to see it.
You got to see it.
You got to see it. And it's going to be small.
You got to see it.
We got to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the same thing when I share my story, graduating with a cumulative GPA at 1.8. You know
I love that story. Hey.
Cumulative, bro. Cumulative.
Hey.
1.8. And to be able to experience the success that I got, that I've had, and I continue to be able to enjoy, man, is again, it's hard work, not giving up, staying positive.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with the people that's positive, that's better than who you feel like is better than you, and that give me something to reach for.
Absolutely.
That give me something to reach for. I'm always inspired when I hang out with you. I'm always inspired when I hang out with some other brothers, because it helps me not to be complacent. You know what I'm saying? So, for any brother that's out there listening, if you feel like you stuck, man, check out your surrounding. Check out the guys that you hanging out with. And again, you got to be able to share your story. And until a brother is honest with himself or where he is today, he's going to have a problem constantly to move forward because he ain't even honest with himself. I do this thing where I tell men to it's a mirror exercise, and you've heard about it. You know, take time to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we look in the mirror for everything. What's going on? How I look when I go out. Before I go out, is my tie straight? What my hair looking like? What my beard looking like? You know, and my GQ. But very rarely do a man look himself in the mirror and ask, "Who are you?" And the reason being because we scared of that man in the mirror. Because and it's amazing how we are scared to be honest with the person that's in the mirror, and the only person that's in the mirror is me.
Is you. That's it.
And so it goes back to the stories. If we start sharing our stories and letting brothers know, listen, man, I struggled. I went through this. I went through that. You can pull yourself through too. Instead of just always getting with a group of guys and we just talking about this and talking about that and talking about sports and talking about work and talking about careers and boats and golf clubs. No, let's talk about something real. How's your heart? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I done got off on a tangible, but that's important. That's important that men get boldness to talk about the struggles that they've had so they can help another brother not go to prison, help another brother not kill himself. And so,
absolutely, man. And like I think Jay-Z say, in order to heal, you got to reveal. That's the only way.
In order to heal, you have to reveal. And I think that reveal starts with
a mirror.
Starts with the mirror.
It starts with the mirror.
Starts with the mirror.
It's funny you say that, man, coach, because I got friends, and you know, it was one of my friends. I didn't talk to him for a while, and then I ended up connecting with him. Man, I was been going through this and that financial situation. I'm like, man, dude, all you had to do was call me. I just went through that 2 years ago. You know, I just went through it. All you had to do was just, hey, holler at me. I could have guided you out of at least a little bit, or brought you some comfort. You can't deal with situations by yourself, man.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. You need somebody to lean on at all times.
And one of the things we as men got to do, we got to put down that macho-ness, man. If you need help, bro, if you need help, quit hanging around the group talking about sports, and tell us, look here, man, I'm getting ready to lose my house, or look here, man, my wife and our relationship not going well, or look here, bro, I don't know how to build a relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
You know, take advantage of the opportunity. I ain't saying all of the conversations got to be deep.
Right.
You know, we hang out with the boys. It could be we can talk about, you know, this and talk about that. But then at the end of the day, if there's something on your heart as a man that you need help with, then you need to be put aside the macho-ness, man, and just ask.
Yeah. You got to, bro. You got to, man. You got to reveal. Absolutely.
So let's talk about what's a great piece of advice that was given to you as a man that you've carried on into your
man, it's been a lot of great advice. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, because I think the biggest one is just I think the biggest one, you gotta walk by faith, man. I think that's the ultimate one. And kind of based off this picture right here, you just gotta walk out on faith. You gotta trust God. And I'm gonna put what you just told me just a couple of weeks ago. You know, you got you and God. That's all you need. Yeah. So I think the biggest one is just having faith, getting your kids in church, being involved. I'm gonna always go back to being involved. But just having faith, man, and understanding that faith, without faith, you know, without works, there's no what. I don't want to misquote no Bible.
Yeah, we don't want Bishop Jakes to not think we know scriptures, but it's, you know, faith without works
is dead. Okay, there we go. Faith without works.
All you Bible scholars out there, we know it. We just sometimes get confused. We get it, you know, we don't get it all right.
Exactly. we working.
We're work in progress.
Yeah, so man, just having faith. I think that's the biggest one. Having faith and believing, and trusting God. you know, it's been plenty of day. I don't know if you can pay attention to this picture right here. So this is
I love it.
This is a man right here, and he walking out on faith. This God's hand, just he's blindfolded, but he pulling them. Just come.
That's how we got here.
Yeah. So
that's how we. That's why we doing. That's how we doing this right here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You've been a huge encourager for the Mantalk Podcast, and so it's great to have you. Great to have you on the show. You were one of the ones that kept me motivated. You're one of the ones that held me accountable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good energy, man. I like the conversations, man. We just got to get it out there. That's all. Being consistent.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. And then your intro.
You made it out there smooth for me. You was like, Coach, I hadn't seen any more episodes. What's going on?
Waiting. Yeah, I was waiting on them.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, once I get into them, like, okay, yeah, good conversation. But at the end of the day, it's just men being men.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to have men that's accountable, that'll hold you accountable. Because sometimes we can get sidetracked.
Yeah.
And we can let things of the world or just responsibilities, not just things of the world, just life responsibilities as a man take you away from things that, you know, that are really important, that also help other brothers to become the best person that they can become. So this podcast is for men. We you know, women can listen as well, but we do this platform is for men. What would you say to encourage our brothers who's listening to this podcast? How they feel like giving up, or they don't feel like quitting, or don't know where to start? What would you say? You know, because I know you dealt with them all. You dealt with them all being a CEO.
I think just finding your way, you know, finding a platform. You know, there's a lot of Facebook pages and things like that, Instagram pages, the right Instagram pages, and listening and reading books. I'm gonna tell you that reading
Instagram page. I like that.
Yeah, the right ones. Getting involved in reading, man. I'll be honest with you, that kind of changed my mindset off like 360. Being able to pick up a book. We share some books and things like that. Being able to pick up a book and start from there. You know, you invest in the book. Don't let anybody give you a book starting off anyway until you get in the habit of reading your own books. But just reading books, being accountable, you know, looking yourself in the mirror, being faithful, and just if you the smartest man in your crew, I promise you gotta find you a new crew. If nobody in your crew, because I think it all goes back to your crew, your homeboys, your friends, whatever you call them. No doubt. If you motivating everybody, who's motivating you?
Yeah.
Somebody got to be motivating you.
I call it who's checking on the strong.
There you go. Absolutely, I like that.
Who's checking on the strong? That was given to me by one of my good brothers. He was like, you know, Brooks, you know, you check on a lot of people, but who checking on you? You know what I mean?
You. That's it.
So I appreciated that. So it just ties into what you were saying. You made mention about books. Let's talk about books. Cause you're an author, bro.
Yeah.
You are an author too. Yeah. I mean, so talk to me about your latest rights.
Man, I never read like that coming up. Man, I like that 1.6. Brooks, did you say?
Yeah.
What? Okay. I think I was low 1.6. But I never read like that. But I had a friend kind of send me some stuff on Instagram about writing books. I'm like, man, listen, I buy those little books all the time. I can write this. So I just kind of sat on it a few months. And then he showed me a title, and I ran with it. I actually got him. I won't pull those down because I got my little son BB. You probably can't. You can't see the BBs right there.
No, we can't see the BBs.
Yeah, you can't see the BBs. So I wrote this book right here just about moms, man. Just the interaction moms. Currently on Amazon. Yeah, this one is on Amazon, And then I got another one right here. His Hands. Basically, it's about dads, all dads.
So hold it up so we can see it some more. We can't see the front cover.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. So His Hands. So talk to us about this. So that's a father and a son's book.
It's a father, son, father figure, grandfather, uncle, whomever, friend of a family. This is a book about dads. This is basically just, again, the interactions with dads. I kind of read one of them. So like right here, it say his hands. It's all about his hands. His hands ties my shoes. His hands helps me put some on my clothes. So it's a beginner reader book. For kids, so the kids kind of get a better understanding of what mom and dad does. Yeah. But His Hands it's all about dad. So what we doing, I put together a reading with the dad program. You think about it, Brooks. How many times your dad ever came to your school growing up?
He came, but it wasn't to read books. When he came, that was the last straw when he came.
That's what I'm saying.
And it never was, and it wasn't to eat lunch. So
and throw no football.
No, none of that.
So we man, it's just it's getting dads involved in the schools. It's just, hey, take a few minutes, come out, read a book to the kid. Be present for 5-10 minutes, and I promise you that moment, that memory, your kid will never forget it. But we got that program rolling out, man. I got mom's voice again. This one talks about moms. Yeah. Mom's voice say you're a winner. Mom's voice makes me smile.
Yeah.
So just some books, man. I thought they would put that product out there. One. So I tell you what's so crazy about it. I probably wrote 10 books, not published, but I probably wrote about 10 books within a span of like 2 weeks. Wow. And like it's based off mom's voice. I got based off the interaction with my kids. I got a book right now. I haven't published it yet. I just got it on standby right now. It's called Let's Arm Wrestle Dad. And it's just about my son. He was at one point, he was all, Dad, let's arm wrestle, I'm stronger than you. Uh-huh. So let's put it together. Yeah. But put it in the book format, man. But again, go back to that question about what advice that you would give to these guys. Just do it. Don't think about it. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, we're natural salesmen. We're gonna sell ourselves out of doing anything. You gave me Brooks. You gave me a book on no, that was an audio book. It was the 5-second deal.
Yeah, the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins.
Yeah, you gave me that.
Yeah,
and it channeled my wow, because if we don't do it within 5 minutes, we're not gonna do it. Yeah, we're not gonna do it.
Shout out to Mel Robbins, who was a good friend of mine as well.
Yeah. You big time.
Not yet, but we will be.
She don't know it yet, but she will.
Yeah, don't know it. But Mel, we good friends. We're gonna connect one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta speak it and you gotta believe it.
Yeah, the 5-second.
Why not? I like the Russell Wilson. Why not me?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Why not?
Yeah. And I tell you this, I like to give shout outs on Facebook sometimes to my C average and D average students. On Facebook you see everybody my kid got a 4.5 and a all A's and an honor roll, but we don't never see those 2.2s or those 1.8 students.
Yeah.
Those are quality students.
Yeah. And here's the thing to that too, Jay. We don't know why he got a 1.8. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We can associate it with he just didn't try.
Yeah.
What about he live in a domestic abuse house and he couldn't get no sleep? What about his mom and dad are on drugs, or his mom is not home, or dad is not home? There's all type of different things that could turn that situation. And
absolutely.
So I like that, giving a shout out to the C and D students, because
absolutely. They need it.
They need them, the ones that need it.
They need it.
Yeah.
They the ones that need it. And so I tell you this, I had a position at Jacksonville High School, and what was I called? Something youth development specialist. So I work with at-risk kids, and they wanted me to, on the flip side of it, they wanted me to only deal with D and F students. Like, yeah, I'm gonna deal with them, but guess what? This all A student over here struggling socially.
Yeah.
That don't mean they at risk too. So I understand what you're saying, but all of these kids are at risk.
Yeah.
Don't just put me over the DF students. I understand that. I got it. But what about this kid that's sitting over here in this corner? Yeah, he makes all A's, but look at him.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody sitting beside him. This every day.
Every day. Or he A's and B's and don't know how to communicate. Don't know how to talk.
You don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
You don't know how to talk.
He don't know how to interact with people.
You don't know.
Yep. So it's a lot of different things within that. So, man, we on the close of this thing.
Yeah.
You know we can keep going.
Oh yeah.
Where can our listeners connect with you? You know, with your books. What are some other things that you do besides being an author? You're being a great dad, being a phenomenal husband. What else do you do? What else under your belt?
Man, I wish I had that little deal where I can throw follow me on Instagram, Ed Bradley's Party of Five. Right? Can you put that in there so I can?
I can try to put that in there, but that's going. I'm about to send you an invoice. I'm about to send you an invoice.
Man, we got just our Instagram. I got a little family Instagram page, and it's just about dads being dads, man. Ain't nothing more than dads being me and being involved. So
I like that.
Yeah, Facebook page again. Like I said, Instagram. Like you don't have to go take your kids to the Bahamas just to have a good time. Bahamas might be good, but you can be at home in your backyard or in the front yard. Again, just being involved. Facebook.
Give us your Instagram handle again.
It is Bradley's Bradley S Party of Five, and that's myself, my wife Ashley, Jaya, JC, and Jace. And I tell you, my son he's a funny guy. He's he's competitive.
I wonder where he get it from.
Not from me. I'm telling you.
That's what they say.
Yeah. But yeah, got the books.
Where can we find the books? You know, I didn't order them several of them.
Man, I appreciate it.
Where can they get the books?
So this book right here is only on Amazon, Mom's Voice, but then His Hands is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, but it's only online at those stores. But we'll come out, read. Man, I didn't know I meant to change this long time ago. I got jail right here.
I know you ain't there, so you good.
Yeah, I've been changed that a long time ago. But I mean, just following us Instagram. But I'm proud of what you're doing, the Mantalk, man coach. I love it. This is a new wave. Guys need it. It's a lot of guys need it. This podcast is, your interviews, your energy, your vibe, and keep this going, man. There's something special. I tell you that. It's something special.
Well, I built this platform in with you in mind. Mantalk is just a platform where we can share real life stories that we deal with, real issues, real conversations, and we try to talk about it and get some real results, man.
Absolutely.
I do know that my purpose and passion is to help men win, and so. However I can do that, whether it's through my coaching platform or through the podcast or any type of social media pages, then that's what I do, even at my church, with our men's group there. So I'm just excited. I appreciate to have you don't even understand. I'm just so appreciative to have you on. You've been a great as like I knew you would. Our goal is to inspire and enlighten and to empower other men.
Absolutely.
Through real personal stories that's being shared, and so I thank you for sharing your story tonight with us. And so, with that being said, man, any last comments that you want to take the brothers out on?
Be involved. Be involved, and we didn't touch on staying healthy. We didn't even talk about your wellness. We didn't even get a chance to talk about it, but that's very important as well.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to have you back then. So we're gonna have to talk about the wellness piece of it.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the wellness piece, because that's a whole conversation in its own.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Look here, man. The podcast has been great. Thank you, Jay.
I appreciate you.
Look forward to talking to you again soon. And from there, fellas, we're out.
All right.